Sports Complex in Roadtown on Tortola. This is the Men's 2015 Caribbean Basketball Confederation Championships, our third game of the day. This one features Guyana and the Bahamas. Our earlier two games today, it was Antigua and Barbuda defeating Suriname 85-50. And in the second game, concluding just about 45 minutes ago, it was St. Vincent and the Grenadines defeating Barbados 70-63. Welcome in wherever you're tuned in from across the Caribbean and around the world. I'm Craig Fada alongside former Virgin Islands men's team standout Calvert White. And Cal, before we get into this one, Antigua and Barbuda was impressive again, and I think they've established themselves as the favorite coming into this one, but Bahamas, they're going to try to match them tonight.
Yeah, Antigua is definitely looking good in this tournament. Like I said, they got all the tools to win something like this. They got the inside and outside. For the Bahamas team, the 2014 champions, they're returning the big guy in the middle, Magnum Roll. Roll, one of those very rare players who can play inside and outside. Look for them to establish him early on in the game.
The starters for Guyana: Gordon James, Akeem Kenai, Ryan Stepney, Jermaine Slater, and Karan McKenzie. For the Bahamas, Taryn Cox, Leon Cooper, Kentwan Smith, David Nesbitt, and Mangan Roll. Our officials tonight: Robinson Aracena from the Dominican Republic, Gregory Hamilton from the Caymans, and Nathaniel Charles from Trinidad and Tobago. Don't forget, if you'd like to join the conversation with us, you can follow us on Twitter. We are at Carib Basket, CARIBEBASKET. You can tweet at us. Maybe we'll read your tweet on the air if you've got a question for myself or for the former national team player. We'll see if we can answer it. We're underway. Guyana wins the tip. You can also follow us on Facebook at Caribbean Basketball Confederation, and, of course, our official tournament website, www.tortola2015.com, for all the latest scores, schedules, recaps, and statistics. Bahamas off to a good start. A block shot at the defensive end and then a breakaway dunk by Smith.
I was watching these guys in the layup team, meaning the Bahamas team, and they got some high flyers on their team. They got a lot of athletes. Look for them to play above the rim.
Roll gives it up and then cuts toward the bucket. Now the jump shot from the block by Nesbitt is no good, and here comes Guyana. Stepney into the corner. That's Gordon James. And Guyana with a 4-2 lead. Now a three on the way. That's off. McKenzie tried to find Slater underneath. The ball got tipped out, and they're going to say that went off of Jermaine Slater. There was a Bahamian hand in the area.
Magnum Roll able to get his hand on the ball, deflecting it off of James. Possession goes back to Bahamas.
Guyana coming into this one 0-1 in group play. Bahamas 1-0. Comes the screen from Nesbitt. Now to Cox. Now Roll gets sandwiched between a pair of defenders and draws the foul. That foul is going to be on Ryan Stepney. Roll to the free throw line. Coming into this game, he is a 50% free throw shooter in the tournament, and he hits the first. Second one circles out, but there for the rebound is Nesbitt, and a pretty reverse scoop layup. Gives the Bahamas the lead at 5-4. Stephanie hounded by Cooper. A foul called.
Expect this Guyana team to speed the game up. They're clearly undersized. See if they can't get a couple fast break points and get some easy buckets in the lane.
First foul on Cooper as Stephanie drives. The left-hand layup finds its way in. Now Cox hanging in the lane. Nesbitt to follow.
They're going to have to put a body on Nesbitt, as he's one of those active players that always crashes the offensive boards. As I said, they have a lot of athletes on their team.
Now the pass intercepted by Cox. He goes up and lays it in with the right hand. And it's the biggest lead for either team in the game at 3. McKenzie for 3. That's good.
Kenzie coming off that screen and rhythm for the 3.
Now the bucket by Roll gives the Bahamas an 11-9 lead. Stephanie forces his way into the lane, gets the shot up in amongst the trees. And now Guyana comes away with a steal. Turnaround jump shot finds its way home. Pretty look by Gordon James, and we're tied at 11.
James definitely continuing where he left off yesterday, as he show his offensive-minded skills.
Now a 3 on the way is good by Kentwan Smith. Gordon James with the turnaround. Roll the rebound. Cooper thought about the 3. Now Smith launches the 3 and hits.
And what a luxury that is when your 6'10" center can bring the ball up the floor, as Magnum Roll did that last possession.
That's back-to-back 3-pointers by Smith. McKenzie misses the 3, and it's a 6-point lead for the Bahamas. Now Cooper pops from 17, and that's good. And just like that, Bahamas goes on a run. And they take a 19-11 lead. Timeout on the floor for Guyana. Darcel Harris wants to talk it over. We are back in a minute from the 2015 Caribbean Basketball Confederation Championships. An 8-0 run by the Bahamas gives them a 19-11 lead. We were tied at 11. Then back-to-back 3-pointers by Kentwan Smith, and then a jumper by Leon Cooper has given the Bahamas a quick lead. We're at 957 likes on the Caribbean Basketball Confederation page on Facebook. Let's see if we can't get up over 1,000 during this game. If you're watching it on your laptop, on FIBAAmericas.com, open a new tab, Open up Facebook, go to Caribbean Basketball Confederation, and show us some love. Now roll fades away. That finds its way in.
I've got to apologize to my good friend Quentin Hall from the Bahamas, who hit me up on Facebook, and I told him I thought the team from last year was better. Early on in this game, the Bahamas is looking very, very good.
Now Kenai, the long three-pointer tip comes up short. Now roll from 16, that pops out. Rebound, tip to the Bahamas. Smith feeding roll. Backing his man down, and now a foul on the floor. Burnett in now for Guyana. Causeway comes in. McKenzie. And Kenai sit down. Kadeem Colby comes in for the Bahamas. Cox in as well. And Taverio Miller. Now Thomas comes away with a loose ball. Spinning, hanging, has to shoot it up over roll. That ball was nowhere close to the rim. Good defense by the Bahamas. And now a foul by Gordon James.
Bahamas team once again won the 2014 gold medal. They had some pretty good guards last year.
Beg your pardon, that was Kadeem Colby at the other end with the great defense. And now he's at the free throw line. It's been at least 2.5 minutes since Guyana has scored.
Seemed like two minutes, but it was actually 6 minutes and 34 seconds since Guyana last scored, partner.
Wow.
Guyana just completely out of sync right now. This Bahamas team is showing that they're ready to repeat.
Miller, top of the key. Kicked out to Lewis, 3 on the way. Short, Lewis gets it back. Now he zips the pass in underneath, and the short jumper is no good by Miller. 3:03 to play, first quarter. Yeah, I had just gone back in my notes to the back-to-back three-pointers by Smith at the 5:40 mark. Guyana had tied it at 11, and it's been all Bahamas since then.
Guyana is going to have to take better control of the ball if they have already had 4 turnovers.
Cox on the left wing. Hangs from inside the free throw line, yes. A 13-point lead now for the Bahamas. Burnett between the rings, getting the offense set up. Now Thomas, 3 to shoot. Tries to create some separation, does, gets the shot off. James the rebound. Now a 3 on the way, that's off. Rebound Cox. Nice ball movement. Jump shot by Cox, hits the side of the backboard. Two Coxes in the game for Bahamas right now, Taryn Cox and Torrington Cox.
Send a big shout out to my good friend Coach Mack, who coached the female Bahamas team. They won gold here a week ago.
Causeway hits the rim on the way up with the layup attempt, and then on the follow, Burnett is fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. Squires and Gullen checking in. Thomas and Gordon James checking out. Now a timeout on the floor by the Bahamas. 24-13 in favor of the Bahamas. We're back in a minute from Roadtown. Back at the Multi-Purpose Sports Complex in Roadtown on Tortola. It's a 24-13 lead for the Bahamas over Guyana. Minute 43 to play, first period. Burnett at the free throw line.
Bahamas doing a good job from the field, shooting 62%.
Both free throws good, and lead back down to single digits. Now some pressure by Guyana. Torrington Cox driving, misses the dunk. Burnett comes away with it. Bumps Lewis out of the way on his drive to the basket. His shot was blocked. I believe that was Taverio Miller on the block.
Cox, one of those guys that I told you is one of those high flyers, a high riser, as he just showed in that last possession as he tried to go up for the dunk.
Now a nice feed to Bain underneath. The shot blocked by Ryan Gullen. The Guyana bench thought it was a clean block. And Gullen instead will draw the foul, 24-15. And going to the free throw line is Michael Bain. Bain misses the first, hits the second. 25-15.
This Bahamas team, who has to be one of the youngest teams in this tournament, as they're averaging 25 years of age.
And that's got to be frightening for the rest of the field in the coming years. Lewis's layup circles out. Lewis hustles back. Knocks it out of bounds. It'll remain Guyana ball. That was nice hustle by Lewis to turn a 2-on-1 fast break for Guyana into a ball out of bounds. Inside of a minute, 51.2.
Look out, Craig.
And a rather polite dunk. Still kind of artistic there by Eugene Bain. Or was that Cox? That was Cox on that dunk. 28.8 to play. Will be Guyana ball. Into Burnett. Now to Causeway. He launches the long three. That's good. Miller has it between the rings. Clock at 3, now 1. And it's going to be Guyana ball with 0.2 of a second left. Yeah, there was going to be no way they could get a shot off there. First quarter comes to an end. It's the Bahamas 27, Guyana 18. The 2015 Caribbean Basketball Confederation Men's Championships in Roadtown. We're back in 2 minutes. Back at the Multipurpose Sports Complex in Roadtown on Tortola. This is the third game of the day in preliminary round action. Second day of preliminary round action of the 2015 Caribbean Basketball Confederation Championships. The Bahamas leading Guyana 27-18. For Guyana, Gordon James, the leading scorer, with 6 points after one quarter. Kentuan Smith has 8 for the Bahamas, to go along with 3 rebounds.
Guyana is going to have to find a way to take care of the ball, as they already have 5 turnovers. On the defensive side, they're going to have to find a way to box out these Bahama players, as Bahamas have already gotten 5 offensive rebounds.
And now the jumper by Colby is good. Long 3. Shot is no good, but a foul on Taryn Cox. 3 free throws on the way for Causeway.
Not a small play by Cox as he closed out. A little bit under, not in control. I got to tell you, partner, after the run that the Bahamas have made, I thought that this would be more than a 9-point game at this point, but Guyana still in this ball game.
Actually down to 8 as Causeway hits all 3 free throws. It's 29-21. Oh my!
Once again,
Dean Colby, after the miss, goes up and ferociously throws that one down. 31-21.
another offensive rebound by the Bahamas team. As I said, Guyana are going to have to start putting bodies on these guys if they're just jumping all over the place.
Now the attempt at the windmill putback is no good, and then bodies hit the floor. I believe the foul is going to be on Jermaine Slater of Guyana. To the free throw line, Kadeem Colby. Beg your pardon, it's not a free throw. Looked to me like he was standing at the free throw line waiting for the ball. Now a three-pointer is off. Now Burnett. Shot blocked by Colby. He's a man possessed for the Bahamas right now. Causeway for Guyana has scored their last 6 points.
Colby definitely very active right now as he's crashing the offensive and the defensive boards. That time with a great block.
3 on the way from Gordon James. No good. Cox the rebound. The other Cox, Taryn Cox, had it on the wing now. Three-pointer on the way. Missed badly by Cooper. Causeway attacks. Pretty pass inside, and then the follow by Gordon James. Now the long pass ahead, attacking. Shot won't go. Causeway, beg your pardon, Burnett gets bumped out of the way on the rebound. Three on the way, that's good. Torrington Cox hits from long range.
Poor transition defense that time on Guyana as they never quite picked up the ball on that possession.
Now McKenzie answers for Guyana. Now they're going to say that was only a 2.
Gordon James doing his best impression, trying to keep this Guyana team in the game. He's looking good on the offensive end.
Rudolph James into the game for Guyana. Roll back in for the Bahamas. He goes up tall with that left hand, and that's almost indefensible.
A little bit too easy as he didn't have no pressure on the inbound. Able to back his win in for the sweet left-handed hook.
That ball was at least a foot over the rim when he released it. Now the strong drive by Causeway. He gives it up, 4 to shoot. And nice ball movement by Guyana. Gordon James drawing the foul. I believe the foul was on Taryn Cox. It is his second.
Gordon James probably the best offensive option for this Guyana team right now as he gives them an inside-outside punt.
First free throw is good, and if you can keep it around 10 against this Bahamas team, anything can happen. And now a foul by Rudolph James as he battles for position with David Nesbitt. Non-shooting foul. Lewis comes in. Cox goes out for the Bahamas. Taryn Cox, I should say.
It's going to be a pretty good matchup as James and Nesbitt was going in it.
Nesbitt cutting, going up over James, and they're going to say the foul occurred on the floor.
Nesbitt, not a big fellow, definitely got some size and strength to him. As the Bahamas team that they're going to try to go inside of him on every possession.
So that's foul number 2 on Gordon James. Now Roll a little too far out. He's got to make a move to get closer. He does, goes off the glass too strong. Rebound taken by Burnett. Burnett to McKenzie. 10 to shoot on the right wing. Launches the long three. Now Cooper, a little stop and go move. Tried to hit Nesbitt underneath, beg your pardon. Yes, that was Nesbitt. .38-30 in favor of the Bahamas. 5:19 to play, a second quarter. And Mario Boleg for the Bahamas wants timeout. We'll take it as well. We're back in a minute. Guyana is hanging around. It's 38-30. The Bahamas led by as many as 13 in the first quarter. 5:18 to play, second quarter. Burnett. James, he loses it. Beg your pardon, that was Slater. Now Lewis to Roll. Roll. 2 very long strides in the lane and just lays it up. That was too easy. Slater with the putback won't go, and then Gordon James is there.
Gordon James is just a man-child around the basket.
Pass tipped and intercepted. Bahamas controls Smith. 3 on the way. That's no good. Now the follow. Boy, Guyana had several opportunities, and here comes Bain at the other end, and he stuffs it with 2 hands. Boy, Guyana had several opportunities there to get the ball in the bucket, and at the other end, they gave up a breakaway dunk.
They had about 4 defenders trying to cross the offensive board. You got to have your point guard staying back as a security blanket just in case you don't come up with that offensive board. Just now, they didn't do a good job of that, giving Bahamas an easy deuce.
(44-32). Lead is up to 12 now. It was 8 just a moment ago. We invite you to join us at 9 o'clock or thereabouts for our feature game of the evening. The host nation, British Virgin Islands, will be taking on the Cayman Islands. BVI with the win last night. Cayman Islands lost yesterday. Our earlier game today, it was Antigua and Barbuda defeating Suriname 85-50. And then in our second game, later in the afternoon, St. Vincent and the Grenadines over Barbados 70-63. Causeway finds McKenzie, gets his defender in the air and then loses it. They're going to say that was tipped. Shot clock at 7. Causeway barrels into the lane, dishes it, but draws the foul. It's going to be on Shaquan Lewis. Non-shooting variety.
Causeway doing a great job of creating the contact just now in that penetration. He's able to pick up the foul.
10 to shoot. Causeway, right wing, around the screen from Slater. Back up top to Burnett. Now McKenzie driving, gets his defender in the air, misses everything, and here comes the Bahamas. Lewis gives it up to Smith, now underneath. Good defense by Slater and the rest of the Guyana big men underneath. Now Causeway loses it. Here comes Lewis back the other way. Gets it to Nesbitt, and then a foul called. Foul is going to be on Burnett. Now Kenai, Stephanie, and Thomas come in for Guyana. McKenzie, Burnett. I didn't see who the third man was to sit down.
Coach Harris can't be happy with the way his team is taking care of the ball, as they've already racked up 8 turnovers in this game.
Free throw is good by Nesbitt.
Got to take care of the ball. Team with the most possessions at the end of the game usually wins.
$14-point lead now for Bahamas, their biggest of the game. 46-32 on the free throws by Nesbitt. Now Gordon James has it stripped out of his hands, but a foul called. That's going to be on Nesbitt.
Who do we have coming up in the nightcap, partner?
Coming up, it's the BVI and the Cayman Islands. And this place will be sure to be rocking again. It was a loud, exciting environment in here last night with BVI playing the nightcap. And if you can get here, I would, because BVI plays some pretty good basketball and they're going to be entertaining to watch. They're one of the 3 or 4 teams that we've kind of anointed as possible favorites to win this whole thing.
Got a foul away from the ball as the shot was being taken. Count the basket on the 3. Bahamas still goes to the line to shoot 2 free throws.
Wow.
Actually should be going to the line to shoot 1.
Yeah. The foul was on Slater. The shot was good.
Giving him 2 shots. I'm a little confused.
Yeah, that's what everybody around the scorer's table is asking. The basket was good. How does he get 2 free throws? So he hits the second. And it's 49-32. Now the shot blocked by Colby. Kenai, the spinning move. Stepney for 3. Kaboom!
Colby trying to do his best impression of the center from the BVI last night. As last night he had about 7 or 8 blocks.
Yeah, I think he finished with 7.
Colby well on his way to try to match that effort.
Talking about Cleon Penn. (49-35) Bahamas, 1:56 to play in this second quarter. Slater misses the free throw. The foul was on Kentuan Smith, his first. Second free throw circles in. Nesbitt, the rebound, goes back up. Fouled by Gordon James.
Nesbitt just being a menace on the offensive boards right now.
Well, and that's what Bahamas will have to do against Antigua and Barbuda, because they were flying to the glass today like few teams I've ever seen.
That's going to be an awesome matchup if both teams have great big men inside. I can't wait.
Nesbitt hits them both. It's 51-36. Back up to a 15-point lead. Biggest lead of the game has been 17 for the Bahamas. Now Burnett replaces Thomas. And I think Guyana still needs to kind of find some combination in there that works for them.
Well, the one clear spot for them has been Gordon James. He has been their offensive power right now. Don't forget about McKenzie, who's giving them a couple threes from outside.
Stephanie for 3. Long rebound to Burnett. And Guyana resets. Burnett attacks, kicks it out. 3 on the way. That's good. Akeem Kenai. A minute to play. Second quarter. Lewis now, wide open 3. That circles out. Kenai the rebound. Long pass ahead to Burnett. He flips it up. Collision on his way up. No call.
That was a lot of body contact on that, and Coach Harris looking at the table as if to say, what do I have to do to get my guys some fouls?
Now the interior feed denied, and then the long pass ahead denied. Farrington rather, is able to score, and it's 53-39. Shot clock is off, game clock winding down to 10. Air ball by Rudolph James. And that'll be Bahamas ball, 4.8. Lewis jetting into the front court, putting up the scoop right-hander, won't go. And that is how the second quarter will end. 53-39 in favor of the Bahamas. A good offensive output for Guyana in that second quarter, but Bahamas even better.
Yeah,
they were not able to make up any ground.
Guyana scored in some sport. I think they're going to have to look for Gordon James a little more to see if they can get him some good looks inside right now. But more importantly, they're going to have to cut down on some of these turnovers to limit the extra possessions for this Bahama team.
As we take a look at the halftime statistics, Gordon James has 14 for Guyana. McKenzie with 6, Stepney with 5. James also with 8 rebounds. For the Bahamas, Kentuan Smith with 10. Nesbitt with 9. Roll with 9. Tarrington Cox with 7. Leading rebounder, Smith and Nesbitt with 4 apiece. 53-39 in favor of the Bahamas. Our earlier action today, game 1, it was Antigua and Barbuda defeating Suriname 85-50. Antigua moves to 2-0 in the tournament. Suriname starts out 0-1. Game 2, it was SVG over Barbados 70-63. Our nightcap coming up about 9 o'clock. It's going to be BVI, the host nation, taking on the Cayman Islands. BVI 1-0, Cayman Islands 0-1. Don't forget, you can join the conversation on social media. You can follow the Caribbean Basketball Confederation on Facebook, or you can follow us on Twitter. We are at Caribe Basket, CARIBE BASKET. If you've got a question for me or for my partner, former men's team standout for the Virgin Islands, Calvert White, we will do our best to answer it for you. Or if you're just saying hello and giving your team a shout out, maybe we'll read it on the air. Glad you can be with us from the Multipurpose Sports Complex in Roadtown, Tortola. This is the 2015 Caribbean Basketball Confederation Men's Championships. We're back in just a bit. Welcome back to the Multi-Purpose Sports Complex in Road Town on Tortola of the British Virgin Islands. It's the third game of the day of the 2015 Caribbean Basketball Confederation Championships. Our first two games of the day saw Antigua and Barbuda defeat Suriname 85-50. Game two, it was St. Vincent and the Grenadines over Barbados 70-63. Right here it's 53-39 as we head into the third quarter. I'm Craig Fada alongside my partner, Cal White, the former Virgin Islands men's team standout. If you would like to join the conversation with us, you can follow us on Facebook at Caribbean Basketball Confederation. Trying to get to 1,000 likes during the course of this game as we head into the nightcap with BVI and Cayman Islands. We're at about 960 right now, so if you're watching this game online through FIBAAmericas.com/CBC 2015 or Tortola2015.com, however you got there, just open another tab in your browser, go over to Facebook and click like on Caribbean Basketball Confederation. Maybe we will say hello to the person who is the 1,000th like on Facebook. You can also tweet us. We are at Carib Basket, CARIBE BASKET. You can tweet to us. If you have a question for Cal or myself, or maybe some thoughts on the game or the tournament at hand, maybe we'll read your tweet on the air. Once again, that's at Carib Basket. Back to the action here in Road Town as Guyana tries to make a comeback. McKenzie has a three rattle out, and Cal, what does Guyana have to do in this second half besides take care of the ball a little better?
Well, interesting in love, Gordon James, who was the one bright spot for them with 14 points, 8 rebounds, is not on the floor to start this second half. But they're definitely going to have to start taking care of the ball and try to get some inside shots. Right now they're taking a lot of perimeter shots, a lot of threes. And if those threes don't fall, that's going to cause this lead to get bigger for this Bahamas team.
Yeah, Travis Burnett on the floor instead of Gordon James. Now a wide open three is good for Leon Cooper. (56-39). Back to a 17-point lead. Now McKenzie wanted the step back three, but the defense was there, and now Burnett's pass gets tipped. Now at the other end, it's Taryn Cox getting fouled by, I believe, Burnett. It was. Good hustle by Burnett to get back, but commits the foul. So Cox to the free throw line. Taryn Cox, I should be more specific. Free throw is no good. Now Burnett has his shot volleyball spiked out of there by Kentwan Smith. Smith all over the place in the first half. Now McKenzie, catch and shoot three, no good. Causeway. Four to shoot. The shot by Slater missed the rim, and so even though Rudolph James got the rebound, it was a shot clock violation. Now Gordon James gets up to check in.
I got to tell you, Craig, I have no idea who the odds-on favorite is for this tournament, as now this Bahamas team looks really good defensively. In a tournament like this, usually the best defensive team. wins.
Now Burnett picks the pocket and then loses the handle. As a shot blocked by Nesbitt, but Guyana retains control. 3 on the way by McKenzie, no. Well, I would agree with you about Bahamas. However, you didn't see the second game that Antigua played today. They were dominant.
Antigua definitely a team to reckon with in this tournament. As they let one slip away last year. Remember, they beat this same Bahamas team and played against a lesser St. Vincent team and let that game get away. Or else Bahamas wouldn't have made the Final Four. Interestingly enough, Bahamas went on to win that tournament.
Now Smith sits down for the Bahamas. Torrington Cox comes on. I don't recall Causeway having all that kinetic tape on his left shoulder in the first half. And a nice jumper by Gordon James.
Not sure why he didn't start the second half. As I said, he's the one bright offensive spot for this Guyana team. They need to get him some more touches.
Maybe the coaching staff thought he had too many touches in the first half. Now Torrington Cox, air ball on the 3, and here comes Guyana. Causeway weaving his way with the right hand, up and in!
Just too big, too easy. Magnum roll with the easy deuce.
Stephanie between the rings over to Causeway. He launches the 3. That's good. Seven straight points now for Causeway for Guyana. I guess that kinetic tape on the arm helped. Now a steal for Guyana. Here comes Burnett, lob inside to Gordon James, a little too far. And it goes into the front row. 5:52 to play, third quarter. Bahamas leading by 12, 58-46. They led by 17 just a few moments ago. But 7 straight points by Dave Causeway for Guyana has narrowed the lead down to 12.
And what do you do if team is getting a lot of easy buckets? You bring in a shot blocker, which Bahamas just did it, bringing in Colby. Look for him to lock down the paint.
Cox to Colby. His jumper is no good. Torrington Cox goes up and gets fouled. I believe they are going to get Ryan Stepney on the foul. Never saw a signal. Now they put 10 up on the board, so the foul was on Stepney. Torrington Cox to the free throw line. I have to say, I don't particularly care for these Bahamas road uniforms. The numbers are narrow in the front or in the back and then small in the front. Second free throw by Cox is good. He hits them both and makes it 60-46. Now Stepney, the long 3, catches front rim. And the ball gets kicked by a Bahamas defender. It will be Guyana ball. You talked about the shot blocker stepping out on that three-point attempt, and I'm actually surprised that got to the rim, and that one looked like a goaltend to me.
Guyana bench wanted a call for offensive interference as they thought the ball hit the backboard before it was blocked by Magnum Roll. What did you see, partner?
I thought the same thing. I thought that was a clear goaltend. Now Causeway saves it to Burnett. Causeway thought about the three from the corner, goes up over Roll, and can't convert the layup. Roll just too tall. Now at the other end, left-hand layup won't go. That was Michael Bain, and here comes Guyana back the other way. Stepney with 5 on the shot clock. Crossover, hangs. He had to give it up. He had no shot because Roll rotated over. And had the Bahamas not caught it, it would have been a shot clock violation. At the other end, Bain scores, and Guyana wants timeout. 64-46. And the lead is now 18, biggest of the game for the Bahamas. We're back in a minute at the 2015 CBC Championships from Roadtown. .326 to play in the third quarter. The Bahamas have just opened up their biggest lead of the game at 18 points. On the bucket by Bain, 64-46.
Guyana not having good possessions, taking a lot of outside shots for the Bahamas team. 30 points in the paint. For Guyana, only 10.
Well, I think you can attribute that to Kadeem Colby and Mangan Roll. Now Stepney steals it ahead to Causeway. And then the foul. Committed by Shaquan Lewis. Lewis hustling to get back, so they did not give up the easy layup. Causeway to the free throw line.
Shaquan Lewis picked up the foul. He's the youngest player on this Bahamas team at only 19 years old.
Free throw by Causeway is good. Hits them both. Causeway with 9 points in the third quarter. Make it 11.
Guyana once again making a run with their defense.
Now Stepney picks the pocket of Bain. The ball goes out of bounds. And Causeway comes out. Causeway with 11 points in this third quarter. He has helped cut this Bahamas lead back down to 14. They led by 18 a few moments ago. And now Travis Burnett pushes over Lewis before the ball is even inbounded. Don't forget, you can follow Caribbean Basketball Confederation on Facebook. Hoping to get to 1,000 likes before the end of this game, before we head into our nightcap. At about 960 right now. If you are enjoying this tournament, if you enjoyed the women's tournament last week, which ended with an incredible win by the Bahamas over Jamaica, coming back from 15 down in the second half. If you liked all the action so far, and there's been some great action, go ahead and click like on the Facebook page if you wouldn't mind. Don't forget, you can also tweet at us. We are at Caribe Basket, CARIBE BASKET.
Coach Mack still back in the Bahamas celebrating that win, and she was very emotional after the game. Spoke to her. She said they worked very hard. Never underestimate the heart of a champion.
And it was
Great coach.
Yeah, fantastic video captured as well, showing her reaction as the final buzzer sounded.
One of the most intense coaches I know on the court. She's in your face on every play. Remember seeing her going up to one of her players. She was in her face, but off the court, she's a sweetheart.
And another block shot.
I'm telling you, these Bahamas players, they can rise. They got a lot of athletes on their team who play above the rim.
And if it happens that Bahamas and Antigua and Barbuda face each other, they may have to call in a construction crew and actually raise the roof on this place a little bit. I would certainly reinforce the baskets.
That's definitely going to be an exciting game as both teams have some high flyers. Don't forget, coming up next, it's the home team, British Virgin Islands. They're also looking very good in this tournament. They went out and got some backup. The big man in the middle, Cleon Penn.
Yeah, we'll be curious to see if BVI can keep it up for a second consecutive night, as the Bahamas and Antigua have done. Now a steal by Causeway. And in his attempt to get it forward, just about turns it over. Now a 2-on-1 and broken up by the Bahamas. And now Guyana wants timeout. They want to settle things down. 1:21 to play in the third period, a 16-point lead for the Bahamas. We're back in a minute. Craig Fada, Cal White, along with you, bringing you this preliminary round game between Guyana and the Bahamas, heading into the, well, we're not quite at the fourth quarter yet. Minute 21 to play in the third. Bahamas leading Guyana 66-50. Gullen for three. Rebound skied for and snagged by Colby. Now the steal. Causeway to the bucket again and scores. I've got Causeway for 13 in this quarter. And now Burnett forces Taryn Cox back over the center line, and it's an over and back violation.
Bahamas probably showing the other teams what their weakness is, and it might be the pressure, as this Guyana team has put a lot of pressure on them in the third quarter, causing them to complete a lot of turnovers.
Gullen driving. Hard hook with the right hand, won't go. And now Slater fighting for it on the floor with Cox and Colby. Jump ball is called. And can't see the possession arrow, but looks like it's going to be Bahamas ball. .7 to play in the third. And the hard foul as Colby goes up. Jermaine Slater said, I'm not going to give up that dunk. So Colby to the free throw line. And Slater came down awkwardly and hobbles off the court. First free throw missed by Colby. Remains 66-52. Nets the second, 67-52. Into the corner, back up top. Now Causeway for three. That's no good. Farrington came out and flashed and forced Causeway to alter his shot, and now Guyana with another steal. Here comes Causeway. He can't get the shot to go anyway. It would not have counted had it gone. And so the third quarter will end in favor of the Bahamas, 67-52. When we come back, it'll be fourth quarter action between the Bahamas and Guyana from Road Town in the British Virgin Islands. Craig Fada, Cal White set to bring you fourth quarter action from the multi-purpose sports complex in Roadtown on Tortola of the British Virgin Islands, the host nation. And BVI will be the nightcap against the Cayman Islands tonight at about 9 o'clock. If you're anywhere near here, we encourage you to come on out. It's going to be a fun atmosphere. Now the 3 by Causeway is no good. I had Causeway for 13 points in that third quarter, as he just about single-handedly, and in fact single-handedly, I had him for 13, and that's all Guyana scored in that quarter. Kept his team in it. Now Cooper for 3, that's no good. Burnett ahead to Causeway. The pass tipped out of bounds by Leon Cooper. McKenzie faking the 3. Gordon James spinning, hanging, has his shot blocked. That was Colby. Cooper back to roll, driving from the right wing, now giving it up underneath as the help defense came over, and a great shot by Cox. Taryn Cox puts it in off the feed by Roll. A foul called, so he'll go to the line for the and 1. The foul was on Ryan Gullen.
Somehow Cox was able to control his body in midair, avoid the block shot. What body control?
Free throw is up and good, and it is 70-52. 18-point lead, matches the biggest of the game for the Bahamas. Now McKenzie for 3. His shot's no good. Pass out ahead, and getting bowled over is Burnett, no call. He was in that restricted area though.
Every time this Guyana team makes a run and cuts the lead to 10, Bahamas just find some way to extend it back up.
Now the biggest lead of the contest for the Bahamas at 20. Now Burnett with the tip. Cooper with a circus shot. Now we know there's lots of people watching in the Bahamas, as this Bahamas team is one of the favorites in the men's tournament. Their women's team won the whole shooting match, as McKenzie hits for 3. So we'd like to see that like total on Facebook start to tick upward. If you're a fan of the Bahamas and you're watching there, one of the larger nations participating in this tournament, we know you've got the bodies there to do it, so go ahead and show us some love on Facebook. Try and get us over 1,000 likes before this game's over. Now a nice defensive play by Causeway.
Once again, another turnover by these Bahamas guards. That's probably the one weakness that I've seen on this team. They showed a little bit that you can pressure them and create turnovers.
Twitter's been quiet tonight as well. We had a lot of conversation on Twitter last night during our games. Gullen. That's a long 2. Leads down to 15. It was 20 just a moment ago.
Magnum roll called for the offensive foul as he extended those arms as he made his drive to the basket.
Well, when he and Colby are in there, as McKenzie pleads for the foul on the three-point attempt. Now Nesbitt scores at the other end. McKenzie walking over to the official and said, what do I have to do to draw a call there? What's your take on that as a former player?
I was trying to talk to one of the referees, but to me that's an obvious foul. The offender got the defender up in the air to commit on a pump fake, was able to draw contact, didn't get the call.
Yeah, I thought the defender didn't leap vertically. He leapt into the shooter. And it wasn't as if the shooter leapt into the defender. I mean, he went straight up on his shot. Might have leaned in a little bit, but I thought that was a clear foul.
See that play in the NBA a lot now. As soon as a player get the defender to bite, they go up with that shot, and it's almost automatic that call is made in the NBA.
McKenzie, hounded by pretty much everybody. Roll picked him up on the switch, and he gave it up to Gullen, and a foul called. It's going to be on Taryn Cox. Guyana will have 14 to shoot. Causeway tries to throw the lob inside, but Kentuan Smith just too tall. Guyana gets it back. And never did get a good look at it. Now the Bahamas wants timeout. 6:18 to play in the game. Bahamas up 77-59. We're back in Road Town. Back in Road Town. It's the Bahamas with a 77-59 lead. Their biggest lead of the game was 20 earlier this quarter. Taryn Cox to roll. Nice pass inside, but defense too good by Causeway on the bigger man. Now a shot clock violation as the Bahamas struggle to get off a shot. Kentuan Smith opted for the pass rather than the shot as the shot clock was expiring. So a stop there by Guyana. Causeway had all 13 points for Guyana in the third, giving it up. Gullen's long jumper is no good.
Once again, another outside shot by this Guyana team, as they just haven't been able to get anything going from inside that paint. Points in the paint right now, a staggering 40-16 Bahamas over Guyana.
Anytime Guyana gets in close, the outstretched arms of Kadeem Colby and Mangan Roll make things very difficult. Kentalon Smith has played a factor in that as well. Smith's free throw too strong. Missed them both, and it remains 77-59. Burnett to Squires, back to Burnett. Now to Gordon. Gordon James, turnaround jump shot. Boy, the defense just too tall. And an inadvertent sounding of the 24-second clock. It was never reset. So it should be Bahamas ball with 14 in their offensive end.
Shot clock was never reset on the rebound.
So they're going to say 18 on the clock. They're going to estimate. So after the inadvertent horn, Bahamas looking to score, but they give it up as Causeway gets knocked over from behind by Leon Cooper.
Magnum Roll is one of those gentle giant players that I've seen him pick up several Guyana players off the floor. You don't usually see that in FIBA basketball. I knew when I played, if we saw a player on the ground, we would try to step on him.
Well, maybe he was just picking them up thinking maybe he could have them for a snack.
Great sportsmanship by Magnum Roll. I love to see that.
Yeah, there's really been excellent sportsmanship in this tournament by both the men and women. Haven't really seen too much in the way of any kind of standoffs or anything.
I guarantee you we'll see it in the next game. There's a guy by the name of J.R. Cheverton for that BVI team.
A little bit of an agitator.
That's the way he plays. He tries to get under the skin of all the defenders. He's going to talk to you from time the ball is jumped till the horn sounds.
Now, I guess there's a problem with one of the mops. I don't know if it's already too saturated, but they couldn't get the moisture wiped up, so they had to bring the mop in from the other end. A little bit of a mop malfunction. Now Gullen, trapped by a roll. Pass tipped out of bounds. It'll remain with Guyana. 4:45 to play, 12 on the shot clock. Score remains 77-59 in favor of Bahamas. Gullen with the nice move, goes up and can't get the layup to go. Finally got a good look in close. And nice ball movement by the Bahamas. Beautiful passing by the big men, Roll and Smith.
What a luxury is it to have your big man leading the fast break down the center of the court. Magnum Roll showing his versatility.
And nice touch on the pass, too. A lot of times you try to get that pass from a big guy, and it whistles in there. And now Gullen for three. Eight to shoot, and Gullen is going to get called for the foul as he bumps the cutter on his way through. That's going to be the first foul on Gullen. 3:50 to play in the game. Don't forget, coming up at 9 o'clock, it is the host British Virgin Islands taking on the Cayman Islands. BVI won last night. Cayman lost. Squires sitting down. Stephanie coming back on. Cox nurses the free throw in, and it's 80 to 62. Second free throw is short, but the Bahamas takes the rebound. Cox loses it, and it's an over and back violation. Great defense by Causeway.
Cox is having a number of turnovers, as now Bahamas have 18 and 19 turnovers in this game. So again, if I'm coaches looking at this game, that might be something I'm trying to tell my team if I face this Bahama team. Pressure the ball.
Now Stephanie's soaring layup from the baseline is no good. And a beautiful drive to the bucket and score by Leon Cooper. Now Causeway bowls over the defender, and a blocking call. That's going to be on Leon Cooper, and timeout called by Guyana. 82-62 with 3:20 to play. We're back in a minute from the Multipurpose Sports Complex in Roadtown. Welcome back to the Multipurpose Sports Complex in Roadtown. Preliminary round action of the 2015 Men's Caribbean Basketball Confederation Championships. Bahamas leading Guyana 82-62. They have been in control of this one the whole way. Causeway hits the first free throw. He's been practically a one-man wrecking crew in this second half for Guyana. Gullen has had a couple of buckets. McKenzie's had one, but it's been almost all Causeway. Cooper hounded by Gullen. He's got to give it up. Now gets it back between the rings. 4 to shoot. Cooper gives it up. Now a 3 on the way. That's good! Right at the buzzer by Kentwan Smith. Causeway with 17 for Guyana. Smith with 15 for the Bahamas. The foul is on Kadeem Colby, and Burnett hits the free throw. Second free throw is no good, but Guyana gets it back. 85-65. Well, that's what I thought. The live stat program hadn't registered Kentuan Smith's three-pointer. He's got 18 points. He is 7 of 7 from the floor.
Causeway Delsby, they were in a bright spot for this Guyana team as he came in, gave them an offensive push off the bench. Gordon James have been very quiet in the second half of this game, as he's now on the line shooting 2.
The Bahamas have blocked 12 shots. Second free throw by James is up and in.
Bahamas also spreading the wealth that they now have 4 players in double figures. Gordon James right now have himself a nice double-double with 16 points, 11 rebounds.
Coming up on 2 minutes to play, and if Guyana's going to make it interesting, they better start now. Cox on the drive, gives it up underneath. Guyana comes away with it. Williams ahead to Burnett. Burnett runs the defender over. His shot's blocked, and they're going to get Leon Cooper for the blocking foul. He's saying I was nowhere near the restricted area. So Burnett to the free throw line. Up and in. Burnett makes it 85-69. And a timeout called by the Bahamas. 1:50 to play. We're back in 2 minutes from the Multipurpose Sports Complex in Roadtown. Minute 50 to play. Guyana trailing by 16 points. Perhaps a little bit too much to ask for at this point. think Bahamas just running a little clock. Farrington to Lewis. Now back to Cooper. Little screen roll. Underneath to Farrington. His shot won't go. But the persistence is there for Farrington. 87-69. Three on the way from Stephanie. That's no good. Rebound Farrington. And the crowd is starting to filter in for this nightcap between the British Virgin Islands and the Cayman Islands. Guessing it will be about a 9:05 start time, maybe 9:10. Stephanie, his right foot was on the line, but they signaled a three anyway. Did not make it. Now Cooper will hold, and Bahamas will take up some more time.
And rightfully so, they pulled it out. Minute left in the game. You don't want your players going to the basket to risk any injuries. Great move by the Bahamas team.
A little up and under move there by Cooper to make it 89-69. Matches the biggest lead of the game at 20. Game clock at 23, shot clock at 13, so Guyana still won't have the last possession necessarily. Now a three on the way. That was no good by Thomas. And now with 7 seconds left, it'll be Bahamas ball. They don't even have to get it into the front court. They will not. And the score is final 89-69 in favor of the Bahamas. They move to 2-0, and Guyana falls to 0-2 in preliminary round play. Don't forget, coming up, we haven't been given the exact start time for our nightcap yet between BVI and the Cayman Islands. We suspect it'll be around at 9:05, maybe 9:10. But as we look at the final numbers on this one, it was all Bahamas.
Bahamas did a good job shooting from the field as they shot an amazing 61%. Guyana only able to shoot 27% from the field.
Yeah, you look at Guyana's shooting percentage, and boy, that's just the arms of the Bahamas being in the way. Rebounds massively in favor of Bahamas over Guyana.
Bahamas over to get 50 rebounds to 30 from Guyana. Turnovers, one weak spot that I saw for the Bahamas team. I'm sure if there was some coaches here watching the game, that's probably what they're going to do to try to get this Bahamas team beat. Speed up the game a little bit, try to pressure their point guards as they mustered 22 turnovers to 14 from Guyana.
And Guyana stole 14 balls, so you can get the ball away from the Bahamas. They did, however, block 12 shots. Guyana did not block any. Let's look at the individual numbers for Guyana. Causeway with 19 points. Gordon James with 18 and 11 rebounds as you hear the crowd start to buzz as BVI comes onto the floor. For the Bahamas, Kentuan Smith led the way with 18. Leon Cooper had 15. Roll had 11. Cox had 11. 5 blocks for Kadeem Colby. 5 of the 12 for the Bahamas. So Bahamas moves to 2-0. Guyana falls to 0-2. And coming up at about 9:07, it's going to be the British Virgin Islands and the Cayman Islands. We invite you to come back and watch that one. It's going to be a good one. The crowd's going to be electric as the host nation BVI takes the court tonight. For my partner, Cal White, I'm Craig Fada saying so long for now. We'll see you in a little bit from Roadtown.